Happy Sunday. What's happening at your ends? So, I just fed the babies. Everyone is quiet, so I'm having my time now. See them? Thank God for life. Thank God for strength. Um, you want to say hi? Say hi. Don't wash hands. So, yesterday, a few months ago, my husband's boss invited us for a birthday party, our daughter's 16th birthday. And I braid and I cook on the side. So by thank God I was able to walk around all that with the help of my husband. So long story cut short, I was able to attend this event. I went for just few hours and I came back home. I learned a lot. I learned a lot, while there. And at the same time, I got extremely emotional because here is a very pretty girl. She had a dance with her dad and her mom and dad. It was very beautiful, very simple, very, very simple event. So I was just there and um, I know you're sleeping, right? No, no, no. No, no, no. So I got so emotional because when I was much younger, I was very close to my dad. Very, very close to my dad. It's four of us, so I'm not going to say I was the favorite, but I was close to him. But life throw things at us that now that I'm a parent, I'm trying to understand what really went wrong there. But living in this part of the world has really taught me a lot about parental love. Sometimes parents will love and pamper our children, and spoil them. But at the same time, it is what you put in your children that they bring out. So as much as my parents were separated right from time, I still currently fix that puzzle as regards exactly what happened then. But um, a person can't give. You cannot give what you've not received. When we do general analysis on our friends and how all of us behave, we are products of what our parents put in us or the environment we grew up in put in us. So in my own case, you know, my dad was in and out. My mom was the one doing everything from elementary school until university. But one thing she taught us, and that's one thing I always appreciate her for, is the fact that shh, it's a come and sit here. Yeah. The fact that she taught us so many handworks that made me very strong, even in marriage. But I remember that then I would always complain to my neighbors, to my friends in school, about my dad leaving us. Why did he leave? We didn't have the answers. My mom was working in another state, so we didn't get the chance to always ask. She always visited once a week. She had to work, to pay our school fees, provide food in the family and all that. So we never got the chance to ask her, until we eventually she got a place, a very nice place, and we all moved from one state to another to live with her, which is like one of my most happiest moments when I flash back. So, um, what I'm trying to say in essence is, what are those things we deposit in our children? If you're a single parent, what are those ideas? What are those things you deposit in your child? If you're a mom or dad out there, what are those things you deposit in your children? Because it's not about the now, it's about the future. My mom instilled, this idea of work hard as a woman. Your husband will respect you. So part of the things I learned how to make pastries. I bake cake. I try with snacks and it doesn't come out perfect, but at least my family always has something to fall back on whenever it's not food we're eating. Um, I try with cooking a little bit, not a little bit, as an African woman, everybody expects that you should know how to cook at least a little bit. So if there's one thing I'm very grateful for is those values my mom instilled in us growing up. Those values are one of the things that made us who we are today. So I'm not trying to open up too much about myself, but sometimes I like to put it out there. It's all like everybody might not hear you, but sometimes everything you need to say is meant for just one person. And I hope and pray that that person is listening to me now. Um, so then I was thinking it was hard labor. I would be like, no, I don't like to cook. I don't like because we were using firewood. I didn't want to smoke. I was always running away. My elder sister was the one always there, in the fire. Let me put it that way. I prefer to braid, so I would go to people's houses and braid their hair, make my money, and come back. So I was doing a little bit of the pastries, but I didn't put in my all until my elder sister got married and she left. And then those potentials started showing forth. Long story cut short, I'm far from home now, and those handworks I learned are the things putting food in my table. That's not like 100% of where I get my revenue. But currently, as a mom staying at home with 4 kids, I give God the glory that handwork is what has been, sustaining me mentally, intellectually, and every otherwise. So yesterday I went for the birthday and the girl came out pretty, pretty. And she was supposed to light 16 candles to commemorate her 16th birthday. So for each candle that was going to be, that she was going to put the light on, the fire on, represents someone very important in her life. And I couldn't hold back my tears. I cried almost all through. It was a very emotional moment. And seeing a girl like that, I'm just assuming that seeing a girl like that, there's no way she would go out in the future, go out, leave her parents' home and go out there and not show love. It's hard because I sat down and analyzed the whole money for everything. Everybody might contribute stipends here and there, but the parents did bulk of the work. They paid and made that day beautiful for their daughter. They only have 2 kids. And all I kept thinking in my heart is, I wasn't trying to compare myself with them, but I'm like, hi, God, I can imagine when my daughter would, turn 16 and all the beautiful things she said. All I could feel in there was just pure love. And the number one thing that came to my mind is, honestly, if we pour in love, genuine love, pure love, natural love, decent love into our kids, even though you cannot determine the child's heart, you can't control it, but whatever we instill in them is what they put out there. When there's always fight and quarrel in the home, when there's always chaos, our children they see, and it sits down in their hearts. When they grow up, they feel this is the right way to do. Sometimes when I yell at my kids, I yell at the highest pitch of my voice. And I'm like, I should have just told this child, just do this. Was yelling necessary? Because I was brought up with iron hands. And as much as I will try to be soft with the left and discipline with the right, sometimes I overdo it, you know. But all I could see yesterday in the event was just pure love. The parents put in the work. You could see it. I used to braid the girls' hair, not used to. I do braid both the mom and the daughter. And anytime she's extremely respectful. I don't know how it is in the house, but it is what I see I'm speaking about. So I'm praying that God will make us instill those values, in our kids. That when people see them out there, they don't even need to open their mouths to say anything. That the way they behave, the way they communicate, the way they interact with their peers and people around them will yield positive change, beginning with them and the society at large. It wasn't wrong when someone said charity begins at home. It means love begins at home. Love actually begins at home. So what are those things we say around our kids? How do we behave? If you're a wife, do you show enough love to your husband, enough for your kids to see and say, when I grow up, I want to be like mommy? As a father, do you show enough love in your own little way? Do you show enough love that will make your child say, I want to marry a man like my dad? My dad had his bad side, but he was an amazing man. And I remember I said something. I said, I wish to get married to a man like my dad. My dad's positive side. So I pray God will help us. The world keeps changing, things keep evolving. A lot of things are happening. And the best gift we can ever give to our children is to instill the fear of God in them and love. Because if a child genuinely fears God, if a child genuinely loves God, I'm telling you, they won't struggle to love. The same applies to a husband, the same applies to a wife. If I genuinely love God, I won't struggle to love. Not just in my home, everyone around me will feel the impact of that love. They would feel it. They would suck from it. They will enjoy from it. But if you're just religious, there's no love in you, there's no way your house, even if there's peace, you could sense it in the atmosphere. So the birthday yesterday really taught me a lot, and I cried so much. I said, oh, I wish I got to enjoy the 16th, enjoy a dance with my dad, even while I was getting married. So it was as if it was just yesterday it dawned on me that, oh, I really miss my father. But above all, I'm grateful for the love he showed us his own way. Yeah, so, show love, 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 love. That's the watchword for the week. That's why you see kids, even if the mom spans them, in fact, tie rope to their leg and hang them, let me put it that way. When the kids need anything, when they need anything, they still come back to their mom. Like today, I've lost count how many times my kids have called my name. At some point, I yelled, I say, hey, God help me, Jesus, my head. Why? Because mother's love is unquantifiable. Fathers show love. I don't know why the kids see more from their moms than their dad. Help me out. Why do you think, kids show their mothers love more than the dads. And even though most of the fathers are the ones that put in the work. God help us. All right, beautiful people, have an amazing week. Shalom.